Yeah, they shoot a scene and they use the wrong mask. I don't know what they were thinking. What is up, everybody? I am back, and today I am looking at the evolution of Michael Myers. It was my second ever evolution video put out on my main channel, TellItAnimated, and it was my third video overall. Now, I was afraid when I did the Jason video that I wouldn't be able to get lightning to strike twice. I was happily proved wrong by myself. Now, I got a lot of comments on the Jason video at the time asking me to do Michael Myers, but I think I got an equal amount of comments asking me to not do Michael Myers. I was like, you know what, I know that he changes enough to make this an interesting video, and I'm a huge fan of the Michael Myers character. I'm a huge fan of the Halloween series in general. I had them all on VHS right here, and I also bought them on Blu-ray here. Before I even started my channel, I was spending some time home. It was around Halloween time, and I just tossed them on, just at a whim, and I was watching 4, 5, and 6 in a row, and I was just like, man, his mask looks awful in 4. And then I got to Halloween 5, and I was like, ooh, it is not good. Then when we got to part 6, I was like, the mask and the suit actually looks really good in this film, but the story for part 5 and part 6 are not as strong as part 4, and none of them are as strong as part 1. And I also really like part 2 as well. He has an interesting look to him, especially his masks, so I knew there was a video here. I'm excited to rewatch this. Probably haven't watched this one, at least not this version of it, the original one that I put out 4 years ago, because I did an updated version as well. So I haven't watched this one in a long time. So let's toss it on right now, and no more jibber jabber.
Michael Myers is one of the scariest horror icons of all time. From normal-sized creep to hobo in a
That's a classic TellItAnimated opening. Just have the title, and then someone rips it open and pops their head through.
pro wrestler's body. Let's start from the beginning.
I also show both versions, the start and the end there. So I almost kind of spoiled the video.
Michael first appears as a murderous blonde boy wearing a clown costume. He's sent to a mental institution, and 15 years later he breaks out and dons the iconic blue jumpsuit and a Captain Kirk mask, painted white with dark hair.
Yes, that was originally a Captain Kirk mask. That was molded from William Shatner's face on his time on Star Trek, and they sold it on the shelves in the 70s, and the producers saw it and said, that's a creepy looking mask if we can make a couple of alterations to it. So that's what they did, and that's how they got the look for Michael Myers. I think William Shatner got wind of that. It was his face later on, and then I think he got mad. He might have gotten like a settlement or something out of it. I don't remember, but I'm so glad they happened to pass by it and thought that could work. And it's iconic.
A bloody massacre, and is then shot multiple times in full.
There's Loomis. Loomis is the heart and soul of the franchise for the first 6 films. Minus the 3rd film, of course. But yeah, I'm so glad he came back for so many of the sequels. He's amazing. Donald Pleasance, you are awesome.
Off a balcony. In Halloween 2, taking place within the same night, Michael Myers is somehow stockier. His mask is yellowed and now has reddish hair.
I love sequels where they take place on the same night, but they just don't look the same anymore. You saw him like 5 minutes ago, and now he looks shorter. The mask is like 3 years aged. Apparently it was kept under the producer's bed. She was a smoker. Turned the mask a little bit yellow. It turned the hair a little red. And the paint was like fading on it. The paint of the hair was fading on it. It just doesn't look like the original. But I really do like the look for Halloween 2. I think they do a good job here.
He sets out to kill the surviving victim from the last film, who happens to be his sister. She shoots him in the eye.
Especially that look. I love the look of the blood dripping from his eyes. It is amazing. I love that look.
And he's set on fire. Michael does not appear in Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
I do Halloween 3, Season of the Witch dirty here. I love that movie. I love it. I think it might be better than the original. Or at least it's probably not a better film than the original, but I think I like watching it more than the original. I've shown it to so many of my friends. They really liked it. I've shown it to my girlfriend. She really liked it. I think the masks here are really iconic for the series too. It's like really gross with the bugs come out of it, but there's some iconic scenes with those masks on. Those masks are almost as iconic as the Michael Myers mask at this point, at least within the horror world. I love them. I'm trying to collect them all. I've got the witch mask and I've got the skull mask. I'm still looking for the pumpkin mask. I just love Halloween 3. If I do another update on this, I might include more information for Halloween 3, a bit more of the story at this point in it.
So, on to the next film. In Return of Michael Myers, Michael awakens from a coma covered in bandages. He's taller, bulkier, and finds a greasy...
I really like this look for Michael Myers. If they had just kept that bandaged look on his face, I think that would have been also iconic in its own way. But I'm glad we got a new look for him. We get 2 different looks for this movie, basically.
Finds a greasy blue jumpsuit and a new mask
because he puts on that again
to wear. Then features a shocked expression and slicked orangish hair.
The slicked hair is not great. And I don't know why they can't quite get it right. I believe they also used like the Captain Kirk mask, but I think they put the paint on too thick. They I don't know, they painted the eyebrows too high, or the eye holes are in the wrong spot or something. I don't know, there's something strange about it. It's like, I think the same mold as the first film, but it's just not quite right. I don't know what it is.
That briefly turns blonde.
Oh yeah, in the movie, they literally shot a scene with an unprocessed mask. So this should actually be pink and blonde. I fixed that in the updated video. But yeah, they shoot a scene and they use the wrong mask. No one says, hey, why is Michael Myers blonde? No one said anything. I don't know what they were thinking.
After learning of his sister's death, he instead hunts his niece, but is shot and falls down a well.
So, I make sure that Jamie, Michael's niece, gives a little bit of an evil look to the camera after Michael falls down the well. And at the end, it's almost implied that the evilness of Michael Myers has been transferred into her. It would have been interesting to see that timeline where they went with her being the killer now. I'm kind of bummed we never got that movie, although I'm happy that we got the franchise that we do today. So, give or take.
In The Revenge of Michael Myers, he is nursed back to health by a hermit.
That was one of my favorite scenes to animate, just showing him drinking Campbell's soup and looking all sick. This old man keeps Michael Myers in his bed for a year, and then immediately Michael Myers wakes up and he kills him. Michael Myers is not a good man.
His mask is elongated with hair that's grown out.
I do not like the mask in this film.
Once again,
I almost prefer this mask that he wears briefly, only for a scene or two, where he's pretending to be somebody else. When I update this eventually again, I might have him actually wear that mask, because it's a cool look. The mask that they went with for the main film is not cool. Bad mask. Bad mask.
He searches for his niece, but he's put in jail, and breaks out soon after. The Curse of Michael Myers.
Yeah, you can see his little druid curse tattoo there, the Cult of Thorn. I can't remember if that's actually in this film or not, but it's definitely in the next film, in a big way.
The Curse of Michael Myers features a more classic-looking mask. His jumpsuit has also been slightly updated.
I like it. I like his mask a lot. It looks a lot more like the original. I think his jumpsuit here, it's not quite screen accurate here. I fixed that a little bit in the updated video, but I think they did a good job with his look in this film. And he's not quite as bulky as he was in part 4 or even 5. I think he looks more like he did in the original. It's nice.
It is insisted that Michael needs to kill his family because of a voodoo-type curse. Yet again, he hunts down his family members, but this time he's...
The baby here looks like an alien. I don't know what I was drawing. Oh, there are mistakes sometimes. And that baby does not look like a baby. There's better baby drawings, and Paul Rudd does not look like Paul Rudd. That's Paul Rudd, if you guys did not know. Paul Rudd is into Halloween 6, and if I update this, I'll be doing a lot of different character designs that will look a lot better. I like the masks I did for Michael, but even the body on him, I'll probably do a better version of some of the stuff here.
To sleep. Ignoring the plots of movies 3 through 6, in Halloween H2O, Michael is looking for his sister again. He switches between a variety of masks, settling on one with frizzier hair.
This film had the worst production ever. They could not decide what they want Michael Myers to look like. The director, the producers, the writer, everybody had different ideas. So he originally looked like he did in Halloween 6 briefly. They have different shots where the mask is one that you used for the trailer, and then they said this does not look good, and they started reshooting scenes. Then you used a CGI mask briefly. It tries to look like the mask they eventually went with, but it is weird looking. CGI was not what it is today.
An eerily revealing eye hole. He's sliced to death by his sister.
Sliced to death by his sister. I like the animation of his head falling. I think that's good.
In Halloween Resurrection, it's revealed Michael faked his own death.
I love H2O. The last third of that film was amazing, but Halloween Resurrections immediately ruins it by saying that he replaced himself with an ambulance driver, and that Laurie killed him by mistake, and then Michael Myers got away. It's all messy. It's so convoluted.
His mask is similar to the original, but with the addition of very noticeable makeup.
What?
This time he manages to...
What were they thinking with the makeup on that mask? Although I like this mask more than the H2O mask, this movie itself is not that good. It is not good at all, really.
To kill his sister, but later on is electrocuted and presumed dead. Or is he?
I had people who actually said that part actually scared them. Maybe they were watching with headphones or just at night or something. But yeah, just when the music stops and that scary sound happens, they're like, oh wow.
Doesn't matter. as the films were rebooted in 2007. In the reboot, Michael is...
I think that's the first time I used a whiteboard eraser to erase away a scene. I've used that quite a bit since, but
the
yeah.
films were rebooted
I like it here.
in 2007. In the reboot, Michael is again introduced as a murderous blonde boy, but when fully grown appears to be built like a hulking dump truck.
Built like a hulking dump truck. That's a sentence. I guess it works. I could have said he's bulkier, but he's built like a hulking dump truck. I would later on do a video on the Hulk. I still have not yet done a video on dump trucks, but that's how he's built here. I do kind of like the mask that he's wearing here. He wears a mask throughout most of this movie.
Eventually dons a greasy jumpsuit and the near original but much dirtier mask. In the reboot sequel, the mask is falling
I like this look for him. I like when it's starting to fall apart a little bit, but it goes too far. You'll see.
apart, and Michael is donning new hobo-esque attire. The latest
That's
sequel-
way too far. So at this one, I didn't want to end with the story of him because I wanted a little ending here.
reboot coming. We can only hope that Michael will return to his roots. And
Yeah, so I wanted him to be killed by the original Michael Myers. Because when I was working on this video, they announced that the 2018 film was in the works, and they put out a promo shot.
sport a more
In the promo shot, they had Jamie Lee Curtis looking like she does here, and they had Michael looking more like he does in the original film. So that's kind of what I based this ending off of. And then I just have the Rob Zombie one go into a trash bin. I don't have as many problems with the original Halloween film from the Rob Zombie films, but the sequel, I do not like. They went a little too far in some places and got a little too artsy in other places. It was a weird mixed match of ideas, but I think it actually is not a horrible franchise, although I do prefer the 2018 films, reboot franchise, comparably to that one. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Halloween franchise as a whole. That's my thoughts on this video. So I didn't know how this video was going to do, so I'm very glad that it did well. I finished this video up, and then 2 days later I was starting a new job at an animation studio in town. And then I was also working freelance for another job, doing 3 or 4 hours of that a night. And I was doing 3 or 4 hours of this a night, and probably 18-hour days some days. I just didn't have the time anymore to put as much effort into the channel. So Batman came out 2 months later. 2 months after that was Freddy, and then I started working on the Xenomorph, and then eventually I started doing things full-time again when I was able to quit those jobs. But that's still a little while away. So I just wanted to let you guys know where I was at this time. I wasn't rushing these videos out, but they definitely were a bit shorter. I go into a bit more detail now, but these ones are simple. They work well for what I'm trying to show. And Stanton as well does a really good job with the narration. Hope you guys enjoyed the original evolution of Michael Myers creator commentary. And want to know anything else about the video, let me know down below. Until next time, I've been Aaron, and I'll tell you something later.